And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Taneytown Athletic Association meeting for July 15th, 2026. So thank you all for coming tonight. We are going to go ahead and we'll just start with association reports. So whoever would like to come up first and provide an update. Don't all run. Don't all run. Process of elimination. Okay.
Hi, Tisha Tracy Miller for baseball. We had the tournament, or 2 weekend tournaments in June, which resulted in 87 games that were played on our fields and Union Bridge. But Union Bridge only had one field and it was only one weekend. So 90% of the games were in Taneytown. It was very successful. We did very well with, of course, the field usage, earning money for that, and also the concessions, and got very good feedback from everybody. Everybody was very happy with that. So that was a great fundraiser for us, and we're looking forward to doing that again. Fall registration is closed. We closed on Saturday. We can still take a few additional players at T-ball and 10U. Those uniforms haven't been ordered yet, so we can take a few, but if anyone's interested, they would need to get back to us by probably Friday. So that's an option. There was a new flyer, I don't know if anyone saw it, that we posted on our Facebook page. We are doing a travel program now, and we had 2 travel teams last year. We're trying to expand that, and the goal is to keep kids from leaving us and going to other organizations. So if you get a chance to look on our Facebook page and look at the flyer, it's very good. It describes that we are all Taneytown baseball, but we have rec programs and we have travel programs. So it actually says on there, baseball for everyone. So it's a very good description of what we're doing. We're adding probably 2 more travel teams this year. So the goal is eventually to have a travel team at each age group, but still maintain the rec program that we've had since 1954. And those travel tryouts are for 9U, 10U, 11U, and 12U. The last tryout is tomorrow night. So if anybody is interested in that, they should show up to those. I think that is everything I have.
So how are you set for a coaching staff on travel?
Pretty good, but we could always use some help. Always, yeah.
Is that on your webpage that you're?
I don't know, but I'll make sure it goes on there.
Cool.
Yeah, because definitely coaching, we always need coaches at every level, but definitely at the travel level too. We have the head coaches, but they can't do it alone.
When you say travel, how far do you think that they're going to be traveling?
The other teams we've done have been in the MABA League, which is Maryland, I don't remember the acronym, but most of the games are played around Carroll County. And some Howard County, real close into Howard County. It's not far. It's good to be, in this area.
Okay. I didn't know if you're going to other states.
Well, if we have, if we get really successful and have some tournaments to go places, maybe we will. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know you want to stay competitive with other leagues by doing the travel. I mean, have you noticed a drop in registrations?
Not necessarily a drop in registrations, but what happens is when they get to, 10, 12, 11, 12 years old, they're looking for something else and they're looking for something more competitive. Yep. So then they go to these other travel teams and go to other organizations. And, we would like to keep them here and grow a really strong program, and that also leads into the high school program as well. And just to note too, the travel teams are going to play, they're going to compete under FSK Junior Eagles. That way it distinguishes the travel from the rec teams, and there's no confusion about that, but it's all still one organization.
Look for that flyer and share it on the Parks and Rec page, yeah.
Additional questions? I want to say thank you again for showing up last week to kind of voice your concern with the expansion project. So thank you for showing up and voicing that.
Yep.
All right, thank you. All right, who's our
Hello, Kyle Myers for FSK Soccer. Right now, our registration is open. We have 267 players registered. We still have 54 people in the shopping cart waiting to check out. Our URSUL registration closes on the 26th, and our in-house registration will stay open until August 7th. The only other thing that I really have is that we had some damaged goals from the storm. They still need to be evaluated. I'm hoping that some of them can be repaired because the insurance for TAA and West Carroll is not covering it.
Are they just classifying as an act of God and?
Basically,
Sorry.
and they're so old, there's no receipt of who actually bought it.
Oh, boy.
So we can't determine if it was like TAA bought it, if West Carroll bought it, if Carroll County Parks and Rec bought it, if soccer bought it. I don't know. It's before my time. I think it was when I played.
Oh, gosh.
Probably
Wow.
when I played with
Probably,
Brian.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say,
Agreed.
probably.
So,
You need new netting, or you need entire new frames?
no, then it's gonna need new frame. One of them from the U10 field was up in the trees, which your tree people did pull out. She actually came by my house and told me. So they pulled that out, and then there's one by the dog park. I haven't moved it. I don't know if anyone else moved it.
It's been moved.
It's been moved.
yeah.
Okay, that one is definitely broken. And there was 2 others that were moved. I just haven't had. We had damage at our own house too, so I've been trying to do all of it. I know it's a money thing, so it's fine.
No, I mean, obviously, it's crucial, to the program, but I think we need to jump into that when we start talking about, like, reports and stuff like that, later with Lorena. So, as far as what can happen, what can't happen. But, I mean, they do have their funding, right? Do they have their funding for this year?
Yes, the funding for FY '27,
Okay,
fiscal year
gotcha.
'27 has been set, and we're not going to cut that. Yeah, we're
Okay.
going to cull some events out of
Okay.
our roster to try to save some money there.
Like, just to throw this out there, how much is soccer getting?
Soccer for FY '27, 4,500, and those goals are.
That's not even half of what we would have to pay. Just saying.
Gotcha.
The self-help grants through the county.
That Jerry always mentions about those grants through the county. Could
Next
they be-
one, the next cycle is September. Oh, they don't, movable equipment's not considered, yeah, because it can move.
Like it did.
Right, exactly, yeah. So, yeah, I guess if the county's gonna grant money, it's, yeah.
I mean, we're aware that we're going to have to buy it no matter what. So if we have to do additional fundraising, we had some ideas of maybe possibly asking if we could split it 3 ways between the soccer league, between TAA, and between West Carroll, but I haven't brought that up at West Carroll yet either. I think first we need to figure out if they can be like welded back together at all.
Would you guys consider putting a post out on your social, on, your Facebook page, like, hey, any welders, any licensed welders, in the area who could maybe take a look at these goals and help us out?
We were talking about it, and it probably will come after next week because I'm going to be out of town. I don't.
Oh, right, yeah, you don't want to field all those calls,
yeah.
yeah. Maybe somebody will be kind and help out for free.
Yeah, or cheap.
Yeah, discounted, deeply discounted.
We're good, thank you. Don't forget to bring that microphone real close to you.
Yes, ma'am. This is Stephanie for, let's do chair first, West Carroll Rebels chair. Registrations technically have closed. We have room for a few more. I think they gave them till the end of July. Currently, there is 90 girls registered for cheer between sideline and winter. Winter evaluations are next week. Sideline will not get evaluations, sideline with comps. They're just gonna straight split by age. That'll be different, but winter will have evaluations because they'll last a lot longer. And then softball registrations are open till August 9th. We are still hoping to field a team in each age group, so. Neither season has started, so there's not a whole lot left to report there.
How many girls did you have registered last year for cheer?
I think we topped off at like 70.
79.
Okay, and now we're at 90.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of kiddos. Does anybody have any questions for Stephanie for any of those?
And I did get a report from lacrosse.
Okay, so lacrosse did, okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Alrighty, so Jenny Myers has stepped down as president, and so they have not yet replaced her, but I did get a report from Haley Stewart. She's the fundraising coordinator, but she tends to wear many hats. And she reported that our teams all participated in the end-of-season tournament for the Western Maryland League and were all competitive and did well. 2 of our boys' teams participated in a summer tournament thanks to donors and parents. Our 7-8 boys competed in Lac Splash and went 2-1 in their bracket. Our 3 to 4 boys competed in the Gettysburg Keystone Cup and went 3-3 across the 2-day tournament and held their own against some high-level club teams. This week, we have some girls participating in the high school's lacrosse camp run by Coach Nicole, who is the high school head coach and also helped coach 3 junior Eagles teams this past year. We are getting ready to share Western Maryland fall ball info with families and community as registration for that has just opened. We have the 1-2 girls team considering an indoor fall league at Coppermine and entering as a team. We also have some older girls teams potentially entering in a fall sixes league over in Winfield under Coach Nicole. We are going to be planning a fall Try It clinic before registration for next season opens. Registration will open sometime in October. We fielded a team at every level for both boys and girls this past season for the first time in years, and we hope we are able to continue to grow the program. With the program growing, we may have some new board members this coming season. That is her report.
All right. All right, so,
Kyle reminded me with the damage that baseball lost a batting cage right by field 4. It was just leaning completely, so we took it down. So I don't know anything about the status of replacement on that or anything, but thought I'd mention it.
Okay, yeah, I mean, you guys have 2,700. No. And did you get my email about the parking lot, the gravel parking lot behind fields 4 and 5? So currently, if for those not aware, the city opened up the gravel parking lot at Memorial Park behind fields 4 and 5 as a disposal site for residents to come and bring their brush and tree limbs and whatnot under 3 inches in diameter. And the city, our public works guys, will be spending who knows how long chipping all of that up. That's going to close after Sunday. Sunday is the last opportunity for residents to drop that stuff off back there. Monday morning, barricades will be up and signs, basically, that say disposal, site closed effective July 20th, 8 a.m. Please proceed to the northern landfill. Any dumping after the state is illegal and subject to fines. So, but we are going to keep the barricades up until August 1st, just to make sure that everybody's with the program and nobody's like, oh, okay, good, the barricades are gone. Let's go dump our trees off, our limbs or what have you. At this point, yeah, they can either be taken, after the drop-off location closes, they can be taken to the northern landfill, or if it's small enough, I mean, cut it up and stick it in the brown craft bags for yard waste pickup. Yeah. So I wanted to convey on that, but.
Okay. All right, then we can just jump to old business, update on the Memorial Park expansion project.
We're black. Like I'm in mourning. As you all know, we received one bid for the project, which came in at right around $5 million, and which was much higher than anticipated and budgeted for. The other potential bidders were contacted, and I did not tell them what bid number we received. I asked them, if you had put in a bid, ballpark it, what would it have been? And they all came back with the same number. So there's no point in releasing an RFP again without some major re-engineering. We're just going to get the same results back. So, the city just currently doesn't have that kind of funding. Obviously, we don't have, almost, with the building included at 962, we don't have almost $6 million laying around, or that we could get our hands on easily to front the cost of this project. We do have grant funding, and DNR offered to increase the match to make it 50% of whatever the project was going to cost, in order for us to maintain the grant and complete the project, because the large grant is a Land Water Conservation Fund grant, which is a federal grant. That's the Department of the Interior National Park Service. All the states gather their applications together from their municipalities and counties, and then they go to the Department of the Interior with, these are the ones, we want, ask for the funding for. So if we cancel the project and relinquish the grants, they have to go back to the feds and say, we need to. So that's what they're happy to try to, do whatever they can to try to get us where we need to be for the match, so that they maintain their standing as well. However, again, with us having to front it all and then get the reimbursement after the project is complete, that you can imagine the kind of financial burden that would place on us. So after much discussion, the council decided to defer their decision on the bid award and the status of the project until their August 5th and 10th meetings, to see if there's any additional non-grant funding sources or options. Our liaison council member, Nick Kalinak, is here. I know that he was going to, I believe, reach out to a couple of people. I can turn it over to you.
Yeah, I need to get permission from council, basically, because we're not allowed to act solo. I can get sanctioned. But if they give me permission, I want to go to the county. I want to go to the county because I know last year they had a $32 million budget surplus, so it'd be pretty dope if we could maybe get some of that funding. As far as I'm concerned, this is used by county residents, so I feel like the county should pay for it. I also want to try and maybe reach out to Johnny O to see if he can help secure some kind of earmarked funding. I mean, obviously that one wouldn't be now, but hope maybe in the future. He's our rep at the federal level, so if he can work with appropriations to earmark something so we can get this across the finish line maybe next year or the year after, I think that's a good avenue to go for. Both of those would be slower than what we want, but I think at the moment those are the only two options, because it's not just, the problem isn't just front loading the roughly $6 million, it's also the debt service after that, because even after we get reimbursed with the grant funding, that only wipes out about half of it. The city doesn't have the money to pay for the financing cost of the additional $3 million either. So that's the other problem. That would either require pretty big cuts somewhere else in the budget, or it would require tax increases, which, I mean, both of those things are things that you can talk about, but that's really the only funding models that I know of that are available outside of helicopter money, which is, when I say that, I mean grants or some other, benefactor coming in and just dropping money on the table so we can use it, so. And I know I talked to you a lot about that, like, that's, as far as I can tell, those are really our only options, so.
Yeah, so,
I think debt service on $6 million for roughly 2 years alone, the interest would be like $400-ish thousand, plus any principal payments over the next 2 years, and then after it cuts in half, you're still talking like $250,000, $300,000 for, and whether it's a 10 to 20 year term, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, not including the principal payments, so. Not small. We don't exactly have a huge budget.
so the situation looks a little grim. We'll see. We'll see what can be done. If it's decided that we can't find the funding, we can't make this project happen, and it's canceled for now, it'll just be shifted on the capital improvement list to such time when there is funding available for it. Obviously, that means that you all are going to have to basically make do with what you've got from us now. That means, we'll do the best we can to keep up with the fields at Roberts Mill. Obviously, they'll all need to be in use, so we had grand plans of resting fields and rotating fields, to get them back up into tip-top shape, but that's not going to happen. And then the open grassy area is still available for you between a memorial between the tennis and basketball courts and the houses up on 140. I hate to say this, and of course we're not dictating what you should do with your organizations, but there may be a time when you might have to consider limiting registrations or give priority to Taneytown residents, and anyone outside of Taneytown, maybe, they go on a wait list or such. I'm not sure. Yeah, microphone. Sorry.
Like for most of us, we're part of West Carroll, so that's Union Bridge and Taneytown and New Windsor. So limiting that.
Okay. Well, then maybe limit it like to that.
Okay.
Like, so you've got people coming from Sykesville or Littlestown. Okay. Well, you guys,
That makes sense.
lower priority, right?
West
Yes.
Carroll would not
Thank
like
you. No, right. The West Carroll rec, yeah, again, New Windsor, Union Bridge, the immediate vicinity that comprises West Carroll rec. Yeah, but, again, anyone from outside that area, I think maybe they just don't get the priority that inside West Carroll rec receives.
A ton, I can't remember.
I think Chair has 2.
Okay.
I want to say we're probably like it. We do get Littlestown, we do have some Westminster, we have a Manchester that comes
Wow.
back.
Yeah, okay,
Probably like 20 or less.
right, okay,
But
yeah.
Steph and I did talk a little bit last night. Has there been any reach out to businesses like Avapco or FlowServe to see if they would be willing to donate any money towards this project?
We can certainly try.
We can name it after them.
Yeah. But I'm not sure how successful that's going to be, just because.
It was just an idea that
No, it's a good idea,
were
and one
trying to-
that we've thought of as well before about, approaching some of the larger businesses in the city and elsewhere to see if they might be interested in helping out.
Yeah, since most of our sports do pull from New Windsor and Union, not that I can think of any big business. Well, I guess Lehigh. Lehigh would be one of them.
Yeah.
And then the other part would be, what if we only did the building and the one field and not, I mean, this is going to kill me for saying that for soccer, but
Right.
and not do those 3 additional fields? I don't know how much.
Well, everything, the problem is that it's entailed with the grant.
Right.
So, again, if we say, hey, we're going to go back and we're going to re-engineer, which is what would be required if
Right.
we started cutting components out, we'd have to re-engineer. That would have to go through the approval process, through the county, all the review agencies, et cetera. And then we would have to modify our grant for that, in which case.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my first
Exactly.
question when I found
Yes,
this out
yes.
last week. I was
What
working for
components can we
6
do but
days to
still
figure
get
out-
something going? Yeah, yeah.
Is
exactly.
there like a breakdown of like how much the lights cost, how much certain things? I'm just thinking like, I know you, like bleachers were in there, like cut them out, cut the lights out, like, is there any?
Bleachers, we were gonna do like on our own.
Okay, I
Like,
could've-
was gonna
I just
order those
remember
from
then,
Global
like-
Industrial, and our public works guys were gonna put those in, they were gonna do the concrete pads for them and everything. So we were kind of like, that was gonna be kind of like our in-kind donation and labor match
Okay.
for the project, yeah. But the lights came in at 1.155. So $1,155,000 for the lights alone.
So like if you cut the lights, would you lose
Yes.
grant funding? You would, okay.
Right, yes. The problem with this, and I also asked, as you saw in the recommendation, or the report, whatever you want to call it, if we had dropped that sidewalk on 194 2 years ago, when we had planned to do it and when State Highway authorized us to do it, well, I mean, at this point, the project would have already been built. But I asked the bidders, hey, what would you, just ballpark it, what would the price have come in at 2 years ago? And they all said about the same thing, about 3.5 million. You know what happened in the meantime? Federal election. And we got tariffs, and now we're involved with Iran. And guess what one of the major ingredients or components of asphalt is? Petroleum. So, yeah. So all of that drove those prices up in the past 2 years incredibly. Obviously, $2.5 million worth of increases in 2 years. So, yeah. So that's what happened. I know there's not much we can do to. I mean, the contractor who put the bid in went back and value engineered, like went back and tried to like, okay, if we strip this out, if we strip this, if we, do this instead of that. And they got it down to, their initial bid was, as you saw in the report, 5,657,000, something like that. And they were able to like strip out enough to get it down to about 5 million, and that was as much as they could do without, starting to cut unacceptable corners. So that's where we are. I'm so sorry. I wish I had better news, and I feel a sense of deja vu because how many years have I been saying I wish I had better news, and that's the way it's going to end. I wish I had better news. The good thing, I guess, if you want to try to look at a bright side out of this, is that it's going to open up a discussion with mayor and council for them to try to come up with some kind of funding model, not only for parks, but the other departments, that is not based solely on impact fees, so that we're not tied to growth. Okay, well, we can't do anything because we have no park impact fees. And so then we're stymied until, well, whenever, 5, 7, 10 years down the road when developments are approved and they start coming in, and then we get our account replenished. We've got
prices will be a lot
playgrounds
higher
to
then
replace.
too.
We've got two
Just general
playgrounds.
inflation, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we've got
always
two
gonna be
playgrounds we
behind.
have to replace next year. They've been pushed off because of the expansion project, so we kind of push them and push them. They have to be replaced next year, or they'll just have to be removed and,
Nobody's
I
gonna
don't
like
know,
us.
put a couple of,
Nobody's gonna like.
put a couple
yeah,
of ramps and
course.
boards out there or something. I don't know. I mean, if we don't have the money to replace them, they'll just be empty ground until there is money. So again, it's kind of a vicious cycle, because if you need the growth to fund your projects, okay, to maintain adequacy, great, but then you're having more people move in, and then you're having more of a burden on those facilities. So it's just a never-ending cycle.
Fees are also how we pay for
Correct. Right.
it's not a sustainable.
No, it's not, it's not. So they're gonna brainstorm to see if there's something else that can be done to help the city out, help the city
Right.
departments out with their funding, with the needs, because, you know, the mayor and previous administrations as well have kept the tax rate as low as they can. There have not been any increases on the property tax rate, and I don't know how long. And the current mayor's trying to be conservative, you know, with the water and the sewer rates, knowing that people. Right, knowing that right now, prices are out of control and affordability is a real issue for people to try to put food on their table and you know, put clothes and shoes on their kids, you know, stuff like that. So, but by doing that, it's also undercutting, you know, that the utilities. I mean, if there's a sewer main that blows up, oh, whoops. I mean, we got to have money somewhere to take care of these things. So I'm not sure. Fortunately, I suppose I don't bear the burden of working out those issues.
I mean, it's not gonna be fun, but
No.
like, it's probably gonna be necessary to fund. We've already given.
It sounds pretty grim, but what else to say that
I
a
mean,
bright spin on? I don't think I can.
I think.
We're all in this together.
Yeah,
I guess that's
I mean, we are. So, you know, I think obviously, I think one of my biggest takeaways from this too is I think we just all need to be realistic and find out what mayor and council really could fund initially, just to see what other funding would be there, to see if we could make it work. But if they're not even willing to do the 1.7 that we initially kind of had, I just don't see it happening.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of being willing. It's a matter of, okay, what do we have in our bank account and what can we
Well,
write
right,
checks
I mean, we
for?
had
I
that
mean, yeah.
kind of, you know,
Right.
in the budget, but I mean, if the city cannot just do that, obviously, because of the funding, we're back at square one for the whole amount, and I don't see anybody dropping that kind of money to us. Not anytime soon.
No, if it was 1.7, no, there would have been no problem. The problem was it went up to 5.7.
Right,
Like the grant funding went up to as much as 3, but like that original 1.7 was mostly grant funding, and I think the city set aside like $720,000 of city money to fund the rest of it, and that's a huge chunk of what's sitting in the cash reserves of our general fund. So like, the issue is you can finance it and you can pay for it over time via the bond, or you can pay for it in cash. There aren't cash reserves to cover it, so then you can finance it. But to finance it, I mean, in 2 years after you wipe out roughly half the debt, then you still have the roughly $2-3 million bond, which is gonna have its own costs of, I think it was somewhere between like $250,000 and $400,000 a year. And to do that, honestly, like the only place to really take out of the budget that can eat that kind of cost, it obviously can't be Parks. Parks has a $500-ish thousand budget, so that's gutting the entire budget for that. DPW has like, what, $1.5 million? If you do that, we can't fix our streets. The only other place that takes up any amount of money in the operating budget is the police department. I don't think that's gonna go over well, right? So that's kind of where we're at.
yeah, totally. Okay, right. So, I mean, y'all know where we stand. I mean, obviously, Lorena has worked her butt off for 4 years to get to this moment.
Yep, I
To
don't
feel,
disagree.
yeah, to feel crushed, just like you do. So no fault of her own. But the future, especially with our impact fees, is just not looking good for parks in general. Period.
Well, the impact fees have to be raised, period, because, I mean, we're not gonna get away from the impact fee model. They're necessary for capital projects, but like, they're gonna have to be raised so surpluses can be swept into some kind of a fund to help pay for maintenance costs, but like, in addition to that, you also have to have general funding mechanisms in like the normal tax policy to be able to fund that kind of maintenance. Like, what I want to do is kind of a double whammy approach where, you know, the impact fees go up to help, but then like there has to be a sustainable where it's like 5 basis points of the taxes have to go to park maintenance fees or something like that. That's what I've been talking about.
I mean,
with-
for the long haul, for the future, yes. But as we've talked about before, in order to get impact fees, we
have to
need
have
to,
growth.
we need to have growth. And to have growth, we don't have infrastructure. You know, we would love to get money, but how is that gonna work for all of us, you know, down the road? So, again, it's the never-ending cycle, and I even think when Lorena started, did we increase the impact fees? What did we increase?
So when I started, there were no park impact fees. There was
There
a
wasn't.
fee in lieu of open space. And what that was, let's say a developer came in and they said, well, no, we're not dedicating any open space or making a park. So, all right, we'll pay the fee in lieu of open space. And that was set at $1,500. Well, most developers, oh, we're getting rid of that. Yeah, here's some open space. And whether it was, you know, eventually turned into a park and then turned over to the city for us to maintain, or just kept, you know, for the, you know, private residents, whatever, there was no flat park impact fee. So we did an analysis, a study, a recommendation, and the council at that time in 2020 enacted legislation. And at the time, and at 2020, construction pricing and all that kind of stuff came out to $1,000 per residential dwelling unit. Well, those prices are way outdated, so we definitely need to increase that. I'm just guesstimating here that it's going to be $1,500, might be $2,000 per residential dwelling unit. Again, that's not going to be a problem for those developers because, you know, they're just going to roll those costs right over to the buyer. So not a problem, no sweat for them. But it will indeed replenish that park funds, the park funds, so that we can, you know, replace playgrounds or do other capital projects, you know, that we need to do.
But to wait until we have
Right.
5.7 million.
Right. And you know,
It's
it
just
just, especially with this project, it just eats me up that nobody had put a flat park impact fee in with all the Meadowbrook, Copperfield, Creekside.
so, I mean-
So we lost out on all of that.
Right,
We wouldn't be in this boat. We wouldn't be in this boat.
Right,
if
I mean,
park
I'm
impact
old
fees had
enough
been
to
installed before.
remember, you know, being in this town, and a lot of developers would come to council to ask for those impact fees be waived for their residents, in which usually they would agree to. Carol Vista was one of them. They had it waived completely because they said their residents would not be using our parks simply because they had everything that they needed right there, which is devastating.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, obviously, we're feeling it, you know.
Yep, we
now,
sure are.
So,
Yeah, there were a couple of missteps in the past, you know, again, the not having a solid, flat park impact fee in place to capture that from all of the developments, and now development has stalled until, again, 5, 7, 10 years down the road, whatever. And then the other one on this particular project was retaining that sidewalk along 194. That effectively killed this project.
I mean,
Are
it's huge.
there any new developments being proposed in the Taneytown area at the moment?
Garnet Ridge has 50 houses, so that's not gonna.
But
really
nothing
gonna-
like the
no,
size
no,
of-
No, Mountain Brook, you know, but again, they've phased theirs out. So that's, even when they break ground, it's gonna be 10 years.
Right, I was
until
gonna
they
say, the
finish
city
their
hasn't even
whole
entered a
thing.
contract with any of them
Exactly.
yet.
And the
so.
only other one that we are aware of, that I'm aware of, is the Sewell's farm, but they're, again, years down the road from pulling a permit. Yeah,
Gonna have infrastructure.
right.
so.
And of course, everything has to go before the planning commission for review and approval.
All right, any additional questions for Lorena while we're here on that? Okay. All right, so we're gonna jump into the update on fiscal year 2026 assistance requests or projects.
Right, those were all completed and closed out, so that's done. I don't have any further updates on that. Everybody pretty much got their
everybody's good.
reimbursements and
Okay.
everything, yeah.
Then rolling on to fiscal year 2027 assistance requests and projects.
Right, as we just discussed, you all know, what you all have been allotted in the much reduced funding pool. What we're gonna get into next in new business, I'll just allude to that really quickly, but the funding is gonna be held until June 1st, 2027. Reimbursements will be made at that time. So, and do we just wanna roll into the new business to elaborate on that?
Yeah,
All
please
right.
do.
The blackout dates, new policy. So without the expansion project to alleviate some of the time sharing burden, especially, at Memorial Park, we're gonna try to do our best to work with your schedules to fit in, like, if we're having a smaller event, like a flea market or, whatever, then we'll work with you with your schedules. Something big like the Harvest Festival, I think we'll still need to have a blackout date, definitely for bulk trash day, just because of the way that's set up for going through the back of the park there. We've already canceled or taken the wine festival off of our event roster, so that's not going to be a concern anymore as far as a blackout date, but things like that. So full blackout dates will apply for the larger ones like that, and if they're not observed, then a 20% penalty from your funding allotment will be basically deducted from that allotment for each occurrence. Everybody's pretty good. And I want to call out the organization that I think it's just a matter of communication. Coaches not communicating with their board members, and, because the board members, once they get those schedules, I'm supposed to get those, and then, everybody's good. But sometimes these coaches schedule games or makeup games, and they don't communicate with anybody else, and they just show up. And it's like, hey, what you doing? We've got an event here. This is a blackout date. Well, too bad. Oh, okay then. So we've had some situations, but which prompted the discussion. So that's the new policy. And also, so then the remainder of the allotted funds will be distributed via reimbursement in June, as I just mentioned before. Special event permittees. Special event permit applications will be reviewed, and I usually try to give the sports organizations, first deferment on, okay, what do you have going on? I don't see anything on the schedule, or what do you have on your schedule for such and such date? Somebody wants to hold this event in the park. They've put in a special event permit application for it. Without the expansion project, alleviating some of that, the space burden and the time sharing burden, those special event permits are only going to be approved for dates that have not already been scheduled for athletic use. So in other words, if somebody wants to come in and have, a big whatever dog show, let's just say dog show, or a car show or whatever, on, football's homecoming weekend, I'm sorry, that's a no-go. You're going to have to choose. We'll have to look at some other dates. These are the other dates that our sports organizations aren't going to be using the park facilities and that we have available for you. we're just gonna have to, I'm just gonna have to be stricter with that. So the consideration has to be given to you guys for usage of the facilities. I mean, they're, you know, we're limited as it is, so we can't, we're certainly not going to take away from you guys to give to some outside organization for their special event. Right, exactly,
that.
all of that, yeah.
Any,
Wanted to emphasize that's, you guys are the priority users.
does anybody have additional questions on the new policy for blackout dates? I know it sounds pretty mean. We're not trying to be. However, every event that we have done, we've run into an issue. And so instead of taking it, you know, from the kids initially, I mean, we have to throw it onto our boards to really maintain that communication with our coaches. And I know coaches are stubborn, they want to do whatever, they want to try to get that in, but you have to make sure that you tell them that, you know, it's going to affect the whole league if that does happen. I feel like that's the only way.
Right, and again,
you know.
in our Parks and Rec advisory board meeting, we are gonna be going through our event roster, and we're gonna be cutting a lot to try to save funds and earmark them for those playground replacements for next year. So some of those events are gonna be eliminated anyway, so there won't be blackout dates. And again, for the smaller ones, we will work with you to try to make sure everybody, you know, can make use of the space as they need to. The larger ones, like I said, probably the Easter egg hunt. Right, yes, we've dropped that, so that's already off the list, yeah. So the Easter egg hunt, the Harvest Festival, I think, bulk trash day. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that we would need to have a full blackout date for. So that'll help too. That won't present
so
so
we're
much of a
lowering our
complication.
dates, too.
Right, exactly. You'll have a little more flexibility with your schedules.
Again, does anybody have any questions for Lorena? If you want to come up and ask them, now's your chance. Hearing none with that, then, I mean, it seems really grim. I'm sorry. All right, so next meeting date, we are scheduled to be here September 16th, starting at 6:30, right here. And then hopefully, I mean, obviously, once we know more with the council meeting and all of that for next month, Lorena will send an email with an update, at least to keep you posted with where we are, or obviously you can watch the meetings online as well, just to get a better idea of what's going on. So we'll try to keep you as posted as much as possible with everything. Okay. So with that, I thank you. Sorry it was all sad news.
I know, really.
I mean,
This
it
is,
really
think, the
feels like,
worst
can you
meeting we've
feel
ever
it? I mean,
had.
I can feel it, and I'm so very sorry, and, you know, we'll get through it together. You know, we will. So, I thank you so much for your time, and we will see everybody in September.
I'm waiting for them. I'm like, quite disheartening, for sure, the last couple of weeks. Well, since we opened the bid on July 1st.
Well, I mean, it's news upon news, and then the damage done at
Oh,
the park
gosh,
and
yeah.
everything. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just one thing after the next, and it's like, when's it gonna let up, just
Drive around with my arm out the window through all the parks.
yeah.
I don't know.
Good juju, yeah. We need something around here, because it has. And so that's money too that we're paying out for, trying to clean up stuff, so. Yeah, and a pavilion gone as well, as you saw. So, gotta tear down a pavilion too. So, oh boy, lucky to be. But again, I do thank you all for coming and giving your updates, and we look forward to seeing you in September, and Lorena will keep you posted in the meantime. All right, thank you.
Guys.
I need like 5 minutes or something going on at work.
A 5-minute break.
Okay.
You okay? Good. All right, okay.
Short break. All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting for July 15th, 2026. Please let the minutes reflect the members who are present. We're missing 2 this evening. And then with that, did everybody get a copy of the minutes? That was the minutes from June 10th, 2026? Yes. Those. So with those, I will take a motion for approval. All right, do I have a second? A second. I have a second. Is there anything additional that we need to discuss? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes from June 10th, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna jump again. I don't know how much more you want to discuss on the update on the Memorial Park expansion project, or if there was additional.
There's no additional information, no.
This is just where we are. Okay, so everything Lorena explained with TAA is where we stand this evening for our meeting. All right, update on general park improvements.
So everything is on hold until we finish cleaning up from the storm damage, pretty much. Those were some seriously strong storms. As you all know, we lost a lot of trees in Memorial Park and Roberts Mill Park. Surprisingly, Bollinger Park fared pretty well. There were some trees down deep in the woods, but nothing near the trail. There was just one tree that just, yeah, it was a lean. It just kind of leaned over the trail, so the tree company took care of that one. But luckily, no structural damage, except for Pavilion 2 at Memorial Park, which is the oldest pavilion, and it was also apparently the weakest. That's the one that was on just the wooden poles that had just been bolted and mounted onto cement blocks in the ground. It was completely open. So the insurance claim has been submitted on replacing that pavilion. The adjuster has already inspected it. We had it insured for its assessed value a couple of years ago. It was $29,000. I mean, it was kind of old and a little janky, I guess. I don't want to say a little on the decrepit side, but she was an aging pavilion. Yes, indeed. So, our insurance company had, depreciated the value there a little bit. So I'm not sure what we're going to get on that payout. The insurance adjuster basically said if this was a car, it'd be totaled. Yeah, you need to take it down. And I'll get you my report as soon as I have it ready. So we're waiting on that. I've already gotten in touch with a couple of contractors to get some pricing. I'd like to get a quote, two different quotes I've asked for. One for a cinder block, just like pavilions 1, 3, 4, and 5, and also one for more of an open, something that's got steel poles, steel beams, definitely mounted in footers in the ground. Maybe with a little, like a cinder block base on those beams, and we can paint them red or paint the beams, the poles red to match the cinder block. And again, it would have the tin ceiling and the metal roof, just to have it more open and accessible because I know some people have commented that they did like the more open concept. So, and that will obviously be cheaper because it'll be less materials than a full-on pavilion like the other one. So waiting to get back, get the information back from everybody on that. So I'll keep you posted as I get the information in. I'm hoping that the contractors, whomever has the best price, participates in a sole source procurement vehicle, such as, we participate with Sourcewell and Omnia. And what that is sole source, for those not familiar with it, if we're registered with Sourcewell, and Omnia, which means that we can get in there and we can piggyback off of any already negotiated contractor pricing. These contractors register with these, platforms, and so they're already vetted, everything's already done. These are their lowest prices, and we get a further discount too, depending on, what the terms of the contract with those sole source procurement companies are. So, and that negates the need for an RFP and waiting, 2-3 weeks, a month, whatever, for bids to come back and then for them to be reviewed. This would be a much simpler process. Hey, here's our sole source, number and license, or whatever. Then we present that to the council for their approval of the proposal, basically, a sole source, so that we can get it done a little bit faster. I've cleared reservations, shuffling, people around to other pavilions or other, whatever, through the end of August. I have a feeling I'm probably going to need to go into September as well, but I'll evaluate that as we get closer to, the beginning of August. Still have a
Able
couple
to
more
shuffle
weeks.
okay?
Yes,
Beautiful.
I've been able to shuffle
Okay,
a few
good.
people okay, yeah. Yeah.
How much money are we giving back to people?
Right, yeah. That's all I have on the general park improvements.
Okay. Update on 2026 event.
So the yoga programs are in full swing and they are very well attended. We had a lack of registrants for tennis and pickleball this year. We barely scraped by with the adult tennis clinic with 3 registrants this year. And the youth summer tennis clinics, they were low too. Now, this one is not offered for free. We do charge, we subsidize basically the majority of the registration fee or the instructor's fees. What we charge registrants is minimal. We carry most of that. And even with that, reduced rate for the registrants, people just aren't registered. Again, it's about affordability. People just, okay, tennis clinic, or do I put this towards groceries for my family? What's the priority? So, so far for the pickleball clinic, we've got 1 person signed up for it. Yeah.
I'm shocked.
July 31st. Okay, all right, July
go home
31st,
and
there we go.
register
All right, we
immediately.
might get a couple, might make the roster for that one, then, yeah.
Wrong day.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wanted to sign up for it.
yeah. The Family Fun Day and Book Bag giveaway set for Saturday, July 25th at Memorial Park from 3 to 6 p.m. We partnered with the National Pike Mental Health Trauma Center for that book bag giveaway. A lovely lady by the name of Isia, and I cannot pronounce her last name right now, I'm
Is that
sorry.
who you were speaking with at the?
Yes,
Okay, okay.
yes, exactly. She's coordinating the book bag and school supply giveaway. She'll be operating out of Pavilion 1 with that, so they'll be there, and these book bags and school supplies will be free while the quantities last. Yeah. So, and we're supplying the, of course, the pony rides, the usual entertainment, pony rides, face painting. The band that was going to play for the Family Fun Day for July 5th, that we had to cancel because of the heat index, and it's a good thing we did because the storms ripped through on the 4th and ripped all the trees out of Memorial. We would have had to have canceled it anyway. They're available for the 25th, so that's Hickory Wind, so they're going to be playing for that. So I think we're good there. Just got 2 food vendors for that, Sammy J's and Purple Polar Bear. I think that'll be fine for that one. Harvest Festival vendor registration's open. We're already getting them in, so that's great. And then, of course, as we discussed before, we need to discuss cutting some events from our roster to save some funding and earmark it for the playground replacements we'll need next year. When I say earmark that, I am keeping a spreadsheet, not only on events, but every dollar we save that's going on that spreadsheet, and I'm going to say, this is what should be in the general funds available for us to use for those playground replacements. I don't want another department or someone else, oh, whoops, oh, the money's gone. It was already used, when we're the ones making the cuts.
Wait a minute, I thought that the departments were basically given blocks of budget, and there's no reallocation of funds from one department to another. Is that not the case?
I don't
That's how it was described to me.
Yeah, you might want to verify that, but I do know that funds in the general fund, the funding pool, if you will, they're not specifically like earmarked. In other words, like, okay, so our budget is like what 500,000, a year, right? 500,000.
I think it's
something,
550.
Right. It's supposed to be earmarked in the general funds for that, but, let's say, right, if another department went over or, what have you, then it gets pulled out of the same pool.
Oh my God, that
Right.
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely want to keep track of this because, again, like I said, I don't want parks to be making these cuts for the benefit of somebody else.
Trying to be fiscally responsible, and
Right.
we want to make sure those funds are there for,
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So anyway, so you all
Wait a
have,
minute, sorry, did that happen? Like, funds were effectively removed from parks and transferred to somewhere else?
well, not as far as
If that happened,
yeah.
that's a huge deal to me, and
Right,
that's something I need
yeah.
to raise.
Not during
so-
my tenure, but previously I was informed that yes, like,
but can you?
10,000 here, 10,000 there, kind of like,
But
oh,
it-
you're
but
not
it-
using
but
it,
it-
so they need it, so we're taking it from you, and we're gonna
But
give
it
it to
hasn't
them.
happened,
Not in my
Okay,
tenure,
okay,
right,
good,
yes,
good.
yes.
But I
And-
mean, could we
yeah.
talk to the treasurer to have those funds that you have on your spreadsheet, like reserved specifically? Like not like given, but to put it aside, knowing that that is for?
Well, they're not gonna be put into a separate account.
No, I'm
you
just
know, but-
saying
yeah.
reserved specifically for only
Yeah.
Parks and
Well,
Rec.
yeah, they'd be, hopefully
I mean, I don't know
earmarked,
what they- right.
Again, that's why I'm keeping the spreadsheet, and I'll be in
Okay,
communication with, okay, it's been, here's my monthly spreadsheet update for you. This is what
What we got.
this is our bottom line here that
Okay.
that we're saving, kind of thing.
gotcha.
That'll help. So everybody got a copy of this. Oh, did you not get a copy?
no, but I was also
Here, actually, you
late.
know what? Let's,
I was gonna say, yeah.
thank you. Everybody got the spreadsheet that has all of our events and programs on there. I've deleted off the special event permits,
Yep.
or special events, those obviously, those don't cost the parks anything that's by others. So, and you'll see the column notes, and if we cut it, what we would save. And you'll see the biggest one is the Independence Day celebration because of the fireworks. Fireworks are made in China and subject to tariffs. Again, votes matter, votes matter. Those tariffs have just priced the fireworks just way out of our range. So that's $14,000. So the fireworks and, the entertainment, if you will, that we could save right off the bat.
Wanna,
Let's just start at the top. I think we should
Okay.
keep the Easter egg hunt. That runs about $1,400. I think we can seek some sponsors for those baskets.
yeah. Okay.
And maybe even the eggs as well.
I think we should
Yeah.
keep it. I mean, is
Yes.
that I'm gonna do a general consensus with the board. Does everybody feel good with that, like keeping that? Okay.
All right,
Right.
so that's a check. All right, we're gonna keep that.
Okay.
The Earth Day cleanup, that's minimal. It's $100, usually for, to pay for the hot dogs and drinks for the volunteers. I think that's a good It's a good event. It really, I wish I could get some of the people who just throw the litter down on the ground, you know, hey, why don't you come back out and help us clean it up? Yeah, exactly, but, you know. So I think everybody in agreement to keep that one?
Yes.
Okay. The fishing derby, that's about 1,200. Again, we can seek sponsors for those prizes.
Feel like
Yeah.
sponsorship would be
Yes.
good for that.
And that's a good partnership with DNR on that one. So I want to maintain a
They
good
might
relationship
have-
with DNR. Yeah, maybe they would make some donations.
Sporting goods store.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yes. Yep. All right, so we're in the consensus to keep that. All right, the spring scavenger hunt, I think we can drop that. That's an easy $250 to save.
I mean, but what do you hide in the spring for the scavenger hunt? Could we?
They're little
Yeah, the
frog
frogs,
statues,
right?
right? And I
So-
hide those in Bollinger Park, and then they bring them to the spring community flea market
Right.
to pick up a prize bag.
I wonder if we could just work with, because usually, could we just work with the library to see if, besides doing a prize bag, but maybe they could get, I don't know.
Well, this is for the spring, not the summer. The summer is what we partner with the library on.
Okay.
Right, yeah, spring is just 1 week. We
All
put
right,
the
so
frog
all
statues
right.
out, and then they find them and bring them to the spring community
Okay,
flea
what is
market.
the consensus?
$250.
And do you get do you get a lot of participation with that? Like, do you get all your frogs back?
Yes,
Like, okay, people enjoy it.
yeah. Do you want to keep it?
Well, what about trying to either get local gift cards or reduce the amount of the prizes?
We could definitely do that.
Instead of
Yeah.
doing
Something like
250, try to do 4 prizes for $100?
Or five prizes, yeah,
Or
something like that,
whatever,
yeah.
yeah. Could we do that instead of dropping it?
Yeah, we can reduce it. We'll just slim the prize bag down. Yeah, okay.
Fun, just the
Yeah.
scavenger hunt alone.
Right, yes,
itself
they
is
do love
fun.
the scavenger
Yeah.
hunts. They really do, they do. Just make a note just to kind of reduce the prizes on that. And that coincides too with national, get the child out to the park day. So that's a good, tie-in on that as well, to get them out there and about. Spring Community Flea Market, 0. We make money on that. That is a very low effort, low output, good return situation. And maybe we add in another one, maybe, I don't know. Not in the fall, because that one we tried that for a couple of years, and those weren't popular. People are busy with fall stuff and
Right.
getting ready for holidays. They're not cleaning out and wanting to have, yard sales or flea markets. So maybe one tied in with, the spring scavenger hunt, there in the middle of May, and then maybe one at the end of May, beginning of June, since we got rid of the Wine Fest, we'll have, we got a weekend open. And that's not gonna be like a blackout day because, baseball and lacrosse, everybody will still be able to play. Yeah, so because we're only in that one upper section by the small parking lot, the War Memorial parking lot. So I think maybe try to add another one. Again, there's no cost to it, so. All right, gifts and gratitude walk, $150. People love that, just like the yoga. They love that. They love it. So I think that's reasonable. I think we should keep that. Yeah. Okay. The Memorial Day ceremony, believe it or not, that $300, that is for the wreath that we put at the War Memorial.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Letter to the asking if the 3 branches of the American Legion would be willing to each branch donate a portion of
For the wreath? Okay,
I'm not, I'm.
yeah. Right. Right. Um, I mean, is it a requirement? Sign of respect. Yeah. Yeah, I think we better, yeah.
Or why does it come out of parks? Why can't the city?
That's true.
Just saying,
Yeah.
sorry.
Because the War Memorial,
As
where
I
we
look at
traditionally
Nick, I'm
hold it,
sorry.
is at Memorial Park, so therefore, you know.
But that
we've been
shouldn't
with that.
always be, I mean, it is
Right.
an event for all of Taneytown.
Right. Well, that is
So why
true.
couldn't that, on behalf of the city,
Mm.
their residents that served?
Could be, yeah. I'll try the approach with the Legion first, and if I don't get anywhere with that, then yeah, I'll go to management and say, hey, can we take
I
this
don't know
wreath
what's-
funding from
Yeah.
elsewhere?
Okay.
Yeah. Alrighty, the Memorial Day Parade, that's a zero cost. That's just, you know, my time and effort, so we definitely need to keep up with that. That's a good thing. Memorial Day Parade, yeah, definitely, gotta keep that. That's our only parade, really, that we're allowed.
For the
I was
parade?
assuming
For
all
the parade?
all
Throwing
the
the candy.
candy that was
Oh.
thrown by city officials was paid for by the city, wasn't?
Oh, that came out
No.
of my pocket.
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't know about you, but I
Yeah.
know there was a lot of candy.
No.
I didn't know
No.
who paid for it.
No, that's
we-
not,
We pay
yeah.
for that ourselves.
Yeah, that's not charged through
We
the
go to
city
BJ's or
channels.
Costco, get a bunch of huge
Yeah, big
bags and
bags.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, participants provide their own candy for tossing on that, but, yoga in the park, about $400. It's $50 a class. We could reduce that to 6 classes and save $100.
Why not, do we charge participants for that?
No.
What about charging participants?
Then I'm wondering if we would get registrations at all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Cut it in half if you took, or, you know, our side of it. I don't think I've ever taken, besides yoga in the park, I don't think I've ever taken a yoga class without paying a certain amount.
Right.
How many participants come?
Can be anywhere depending, you know, on the weather, if it's warm, anywhere from 20 to 35 for each class. So,
I mean, you'd have to talk to the instructor, but what about doing like a $5 a person class, and then if she doesn't have and have her keep track of the participants, if she doesn't have what would be $50, then we supplement it.
yeah. The other thing, well, just like with the
Only
tennis
take
clinics
10
though.
people to cover
Right,
that
the
class.
problem too with, so, because our system is so antiquated, we cannot accept electronic payments, we can't accept online payments or registration, so it's all old school. Email me, or call me, I'll email you the registration form, you have to print it off, fill it out, and send it back in or drop it off with your payment. You know, check, cash, or money order. One day, we'll be modernized and we'll actually be able to do the registrations online, and that's gonna be a
With the
lot
payment,
easier
yep.
and more convenient for people, and they'll be more willing to.
Because that is
Oh, yeah, I'm
annoying.
gonna pay, you know, $5 for
That
this
is
yoga class, or
annoying.
$10, instead of, oh, I've gotta print this off now, or I've gotta, you know, I've gotta bring $5 or $10 to what, I mean, unless we do the instructor, she's got a jar, yet you gotta pay me for the class.
The instructor may already have a Vimo account or something like that, you know.
Well, then
And
it's almost like putting it off on the instructor. It becomes the instructor's program and not a Parks and Rec
That's not part of-
program.
right.
Right, yeah, we don't, and we
That's
need
just
some
like-
kind of oversight as well, yeah, so. The Carroll County Rec and Parks, they, of course, they have the funding and, you know, the systems and set up, but they do online registration, and what they do is you pay Carroll County Rec and Parks, and then they pay their instructors. It depends on the program, but they'll pay the instructors maybe a percentage of the total, class revenue, if you will, or they pay, per participant, a fraction, so that kind of thing. So until we get to the point where, I'm sorry, what was it? Right, exactly.
Even at gyms, that's how they
Yes.
based on how many people come.
Exactly. Until we get to the point where we are actually in the 21st century with online, registrations and online payments, electronic payments, things like that, it's going to be cumbersome, and then that's discouraging to people also who are signing up.
Do we know what it would like? My question is, we have an IT
Expensive.
department, like why?
Oh, it's not the IT department. No, it's finance. That would be a conversation to have with finance.
Wouldn't it be
Yeah.
a conjunction between IT and finance? Wouldn't
Yes,
IT help finance?
right, but we've been informed in the past that electronic or online payments, like, filtered through our website or whatever, was not
There's also a processing fee that goes
acceptable,
with that
right.
now for
Well,
those
yeah.
payments.
Sure,
Right.
processing fees
Yeah.
to the consumer.
So like,
Right,
yeah.
Like our pavilion rental system is so antiquated. Again, people have to, they can call us and make the reservation, but they have to come in and sign the form and make a payment, cash check or money order. IT is working on a revamped website, and part of that is going to be the pavilion reservation system. Here's pictures of and descriptions of each pavilion at each park, and check availability, it's available, I'm gonna book, I'm gonna fill out, the form online, and I can make my online payment done. And then we just get on the back side, the administrative side, and download those reports and everything. So that was worked out with finance, because we almost kind of insisted on it, like, this is, come on, this is getting ridiculous. Now, like, for the wine festival, what we used to do, and what we do for the Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger, is we use Ticket Leap for those events where they go in and they could purchase the ticket online, they, click on the, acknowledgement or whatever, and then they get their receipt emailed. They do pay for the processing fee. And then at the end, the program transfers the money into our account. So,
So wait, sorry, but
yes.
I really want to understand what it would take to modernize this a little bit, because it's kind of blowing my mind. So you're saying that we would need to talk to both, I assume the mayor, since he's the executive and actually gives them their marching orders, mayor, IT, and finance
Correct.
work together to try and set up a website? Like what exactly do you?
No, but let's say
Like an online portal
right,
where
an
you
online
can
portal,
log in.
basically. I mean, there are software programs out there like RecDesk. That's what the county uses, I believe, where it's a whole software suite, and you go in as the administrator and you set up all your events and you make your, set the prices and all of that kind of stuff or whatever, and then the user, and it's partnered with your website, and the user then goes in and clicks on it, this event, and okay, I want to get two registrations for yoga at whatever Robert Bowden Center, and then pay it, and okay, got my email confirmation, good to go. And then somebody on the county side on the back end can run that report through that software to get their list of registrants and the amounts that they've collected.
I mean, it's kind of like what the city has now. I mean, how much does it cost to pay your water bill online? Isn't it like $7?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous to throw
I walk
that,
up and
right.
give him a check because I'm like, I'm not paying this
Yeah,
damn
I
fee.
mean, that's
Exactly,
what
right,
most
right.
people do,
Yeah.
which again, so there's
Yeah.
gotta be a happy medium in
Right.
that. Like, if we're going to do that, how is that going to?
Right, exactly.
Other municipalities do it a little bit different, like, I think Westminster does a 2.5
Yeah,
processing fee.
Right,
yeah, that's basically whatever the merchant services charge you, you just pass it on.
You
right.
just pass it on.
So what do we want to do with that? I would say we definitely need to keep the yoga, and we added the morning yoga at Bollinger Park, and that's been wildly popular as well. So I'm thinking, that's down further on the list here.
Yeah, I see that.
75 a class versus 50. So again, I think maybe we just reduce those to 6 classes during the summer.
Regular yoga. in the
Right,
park.
exactly. So that'll save a little bit, but it still offers the program for free to the community.
Are we in agreement with that?
Summer scavenger hunt. It's pricey because those prize bags aren't cheap, and we do 4 rounds of the hunts. We're gonna cut that down to 2. 2 rounds of hunts during the summer. That's gonna cut it in half. So it's gonna save $500. What do you think about that? And again, slimming down on those prizes too. I think more of it's just the thrill of the hunt. Ooh, I found it. I'm gonna go take it into the library and get my prize, whatever.
Still an option.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Are we in agreement with that? Okay.
Okay, all right. Next one is one that we partner with, Taneytown Men of Faith, Movies in the Park. They asked if there was anything that we could do to help draw attendees there. So back when we had a little more funding, I did offer, okay, well, I'll ask Purple Polar Bear to roll up and we'll pay for snow cones for the first 25 attendees. And that ranges, as you see, about $250 for the series total. So I think that's,
I mean, what is has that drawn more people? About the same amount. Okay.
What if it was a fall thing? I know it's scheduled to be a summer thing. What if it was fall movies?
not sure, right?
I look at it as more of like, you could play, like a ladies' night, like Gilmore Girls, things like that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like, I
this
think
is,
ladies would love
so
that
this
stuff.
group, Taneytown Men of Faith, they have a set,
I know, they
yeah,
do.
roster, and they, so they, basically, I think, my recommendation for this one is to retain the partnership in that we're providing the park space. They procure funding for the movie licenses, whether that's fundraising or if Carroll Arts Council is generous enough to help them out. They put the movies on, and we will help publicize them as an event through our Parks and Rec page. Yes, exactly. And plus little kids, I mean, by the time it gets dark in the summertime, you gotta put those babies to bed.
Right.
Yeah.
They just want to go run around the park.
Right, pretty
Right.
much, yeah.
So do we agree to cut the snow cones? I mean, we could talk to them too. I mean, maybe they'll have a better partnership with the Arts Council. Maybe they
Right.
have some additional funding that
Yeah,
they could
sure,
do that on their own. We're just
Right.
basically giving them the space.
yes.
I don't know how portable Natalia's setup is, but she's got a snow cone.
I'm sorry? Well, that's the neighbor. That's not hers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, you can be willing to help them.
Yeah, sure. If you guys, I could tell them, if you guys want to still have Purple Polar Bear roll up to try to draw people there, here's the phone number and email.
Absolutely.
Movie schedule.
Consensus on just getting that? Okay.
All right, and then the big one, Independence Day, $14,000. I really think that we have to. We're going to have to cut that. We've got to save that money. That's a big chunk that could go towards one of those playgrounds next
Why
year.
don't we pay for it and not the city?
Because it happens in a park.
But-
And it's considered a
just-
Parks and Rec event.
And how many politicians were there?
activities and just get rid of the fireworks?
Well, then that just becomes like a family fun day kind of.
Right.
Yeah, that
Right.
becomes,
And that's fine, and that's
you
still
know.
fine.
Fireworks and not the other
it's still gonna be very pricey.
town even split
Pricey.
it. Okay.
It's,
Be on
things are
hold.
dire.
It can be on hold, right? There you
Right,
go. Then
exactly.
It's on hold.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
on pause.
Right, we're gonna pause it for a couple of years until we get this playgrounds built, and then when
Why
we get
not?
some more funding, and then we can start it back up again. Maybe the tariffs will be gone by then.
I think it's one of those things that, I mean, I know we're talking about it now, it's going on the TV and things like that, but I think it's one of those things that it needs to be known way ahead of time, because there's a lot of people that plan fireworks for their houses and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Oh, yeah, we
that
can make
plan
an
their picnics
announcement
and
of, hey,
everything.
we're gonna be, dropping some events from our roster due to lack of funding. One of which, or some of which are, and we'll list the big ones, this one being.
I mean, not that,
biggest.
I'm not expecting someone to come walk into town hall and say, here's $14,000 for fireworks, but maybe that thing of, it's not going to happen, our town is no longer going to have fireworks, maybe we'll get some people that say, hey, if you can get this much, I can get this, like, maybe we can get some people talking about the fact that it's something that the town's going to lose.
Maybe, it's possible.
So
We'll
many
see.
other people, like, you don't even have to have a fireworks display at Memorial Park, because
Yeah.
all the neighborhoods.
I
go
was
to
gonna say, everybody
Gettysburg
sets off their own
and buy their
fireworks
mortars
anyway.
and shoot them off.
Exactly, and
5
big
o'clock in
ones,
the morning.
right, exactly, for
It
like
doesn't
3
even-
weeks,
It
yeah.
doesn't even have to be the 4th of July.
No, they start
So-
early and they
Right, but again,
carry
we-
it through July. Plus, look, Gettysburg, Westminster, Frederick, they all have big fireworks, so
And it
people can
is
travel.
great.
We have just done this in recent years.
Right,
So.
just very recent.
Right,
And I liked how charming and small it is, and to me, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this, I don't want a lot of people coming to it, because I like that it's charming and small, but it doesn't, it's a big cost for something charming and small.
it is, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
So-
think we all like the fireworks, sure.
Sure.
I mean, it's a great event. But also with the fireworks, we also have to, get parking, and so, yeah, but we're also bringing in the police for parking and their time, and it's a whole big event, so it's a lot. Fun
All right.
events, yeah.
Consensus to cut for now? All right.
Consensus to skip next year.
Before we do that, if we announce far enough ahead of time that we're skipping next year, sometime large businesses will say, wait a minute, we can't do that. We're going to backfill you with some funds. Could happen if we announce it early enough.
I would like the 22 acres before I want fireworks.
Well, yeah.
Town don't even know that
You know what I'm
when we're doing
saying?
the fireworks. I don't know if
Right,
you ever
yeah.
noticed,
True.
what night's the fireworks? What was
Yeah.
last night?
Right, that's true,
So-
that's true.
I say, I mean,
great
so if
idea.
somebody,
That's a great
again,
idea.
if there is a huge investor out there that's watching, that has a
Not a
lot
bunch
of money,
letters.
and they would love to flood us with some funds so we can make things happen, we would love that. Obviously, this is not an easy decision for any of us to decide what we need to cut so we can actually balance our budget and have funds for other things like just regular maintenance in our parks. This is not easy. It's not fun. However, I think
Necessary.
it's necessary for now until we come up with some other ideas, and that's going to be forthcoming. It's not going to happen next week. So as of right now, this is what we're deciding.
Yeah.
So,
All right, the Independence Day, the red, white, and blue fun run, again, 0 cost. Kenny's donated the water, ice, and cups, and there was very little output, but the community loved it, so that's a no-brainer to keep that one, that's a 0 cost, so. The youth tennis clinics, you can see those, the youth tennis clinics, the adult tennis clinics, well, that was low this year. Like I said, there were only 3 people who signed up. it's just getting harder and harder to get people interested in those. And I don't know, again, if it's a combination of affordability these days and also the inconvenience of, they have to print
Of
out the
the
registration
times and the-
form and
yeah.
fill out their check and payment,
Yeah.
get the payment into us, so that kind of thing. I'm not sure.
I don't, that's a big vacation week for people too.
Yeah, it is. So I think we should drop the youth tennis clinic and save the 1,200 or more. One year we paid 1,700, or what was it, 2,100? Right after COVID, when things
Yeah, I just
got back
think-
open and everybody was really excited about getting out and doing things, we had really good participation.
Have a consensus on taking that out for next year.
Like there's that many people involved in taking the classes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a shame, but I think,
Okay.
all right.
Morning yoga at Ballinger, we had already talked about reducing that to 6 classes and saving $150 on that. Yeah, right. I think
Okay. Next.
Okay, the adult tennis clinics, again, this year we paid that amount because, we only had 3 registrants, so do we want to continue with that or just drop it?
Drop.
Yeah, it's just hard, so it's costing more in my time to try to get the
More
people to
people, yeah.
sign up, yeah.
I-
All right then.
I think once we get the online payment and registration.
That's
Look
gonna be a
back
little
at
bit
it.
easier, maybe, yeah, yeah. Okay. The Hapkido camp, that instructor, and business owner her business has really taken off. So, oh, sorry, I'm sorry, I skipped the family fun day and book bag giveaway. Now, I've got that on here because that's what, we're doing this year. I don't know if we're gonna, partner with, ICEA again, or the National, Pike Mental Health Trauma Center for another book bag giveaway next year, but we could. But that is $2,400. That's about what these family fun days go for.
I mean, that was just, an idea to get more families to come into the parks, to spend time together and all that. I mean,
I think we should
Relate
just
that all
do, well,
together.
we can, or, yeah, we definitely can, because, we'll have the ponies and the petting zoo and everything at the Harvest Festival. We haven't gotten there yet, but I definitely think we should keep that one. I mean, that's,
Large components are making up to 2,400.
band, pony rides,
Band
the
as
ponies are
opposed-
like $800.
Band as opposed to a DJ?
I mean, it depends on the band, but sometimes the band is cheaper than a DJ,
Okay.
believe it or not, yeah. The band's cheaper than the ponies this year.
Pretty much cut everything from July.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it as far as things offering and, with Parks and
Right.
Rec. And we've cut, all the Independence Day. We kept the red, white, and blue, so I guess we do have something in July. We cut the youth tennis. We're keeping the Bollingers. So we're keeping the red, white, and blue, which, yes, kids can run it, but it's really not aimed at kids. The yoga is more for adults. So the Family Fun Day would be something for kids in July. And we're looking at, lost mine. I don't know, I'm just kind of stuck on cutting that when really that would be the one thing that we're really
do you want to keep that one? Should we keep that one for now? We'll reevaluate. I know before when we were talking about dropping the wine festival and reallocating those funds, we were talking about doing like maybe a couple of these family fun days.
right, that's not gonna
Oh, okay.
One, yeah, we do one. I think, I agree with you, Kathy, in July. They have something fun to do in the middle of the summer, and then that's it, keep it to that. And if,
hasn't been great for the past
Are you talking about, that was when we were doing family food truck Fridays, and that was
Yeah,
5 to
yeah.
8
But
on
when
a
we
Friday
did it
night.
just the one,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, exactly. So now we're switching to Saturday,
Okay.
right, which
So
is
there
a
might
little
be
bit more
better.
open. Yeah, exactly. And we'll see what the attendance is on the 25th. Right,
Okay.
yep. The next one is the Hepketo camp, as I was saying, sorry, before, Stephanie at Cho's Hepketo, she's busy, so sometimes we do this, sometimes we don't, but you see the cost, I think we just go ahead and drop it. All right, pickleball clinic, we'll maybe evaluate. I don't have a figure for that because obviously it hasn't happened yet. The registration deadline is July 31st, so we'll have to reevaluate that next year, I guess. Or at some point after the event or after the clinic has ended and we know what the figures are, how many participants and what it cost us. Reading in the Parks contest, that's $200. We keep that, honestly. I think it's important to promote reading and to promote our parks. Up to you guys, though. If you want to skip that, then we can take that off. That's another $200.
I think we keep that one.
But okay, all right. The photography contest, that is wildly popular, as you all know from looking at all of the photographs. And the prizes are $400. So, and we get some beautiful pictures of our parks. We really do. So I think that one's worthwhile to keep. And we use those pictures in our marketing materials as well. So. Right, exactly. So. And then the other one, the Harvest Festival, $4,500. I need to seek sponsors for this, like I did with the Wine Fest. Now that that's dropped, I'm going to be hitting them up for, hey, can you pay for the ponies? Can you pay for, the petting zoo? Get some donations in so that we can offset those costs. The other thing too is that the vendor fees help offset that as well. Obviously, the more vendors we have, the better off we are. That one, everybody in agreement on that one? Okay. Again, gifts and gratitude walk in the fall, $150. I think that's the decorating contests. They do not take place in our parks. We came up with this years ago as a way to, it was actually was it during COVID? It might have been. I can't remember. Right, exactly. So, but they don't happen in our parks, and we're forking out, $225 for the Halloween and the holiday for that. So I think if somebody wants to take that up on like maybe on a Main Street level, or something like that under whatever. Well, we don't have an economic development director right now, but in the future or whatever, I'm not sure. Everybody good with that? Okay, so we'll cut that. Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. This one pretty much pays for itself. Yes, yeah, sure.
Halloween and Christmas decorating contests to get the prize, or do they get it so that they can?
For bragging rights?
For bragging
Yeah.
rights, because
Maybe.
I think, I wonder if we just are announcing that the first prize is going to be featured the month of December on our Facebook page, and it's going to be put out there,
Yeah.
Most the people in my neighborhood, it's about bragging.
Yeah.
More so than it is about the gift card. So I think most people are looking at bragging rights.
Agree with that. My parents live in Sykesville, and if you win, you just get a sign in your front yard saying that you were the first place winner. That's
wow.
what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And it's like,
Decorate because they're into it, like.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, can we
Nobody
change
gets
our
money.
thinking of it?
We
and
change the
still
model on
have-
it to no prizes and
Yeah,
just, the
the sign
acknowledgement
or
or
the
whatever.
acknowledgement.
I mean, yeah. We can, we'll see if we, why don't we'll keep those, we'll take away the prizes, and we'll see how many, people sign up for them to participate
There
in.
were some
Yeah.
great ones
Yeah.
that didn't even enter,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
so.
All of the prize winners last year, I guess this is how bad affordability is getting, they all asked for, grocery store gift cards to help buy their
How many-
groceries.
Yeah, but how many of those people probably spent $2,000 or $3,000
Exactly.
decorating
Yeah,
their
right,
house?
well, yeah, true, some of those things aren't cheap, you're right about that.
Those giant skeletons are like
Right.
$400.
Okay.
Somebody's gonna
All right,
eat
well then
now.
we'll keep them on for this year and see what we get without any prizes. And then if,
A first place ribbon delivered to their front door. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's,
Oh, or pose in front of your house and.
yeah, absolutely.
featured in the city newsletter.
Sure.
Here we go, a picture. Hey, here's the winner for the Halloween
Right.
decorating here's the winner for the, holiday decorating contest. Okay. Where were we? Oh, Birds and Bourbon. Yes, Birds and Bourbon at Bollinger. Like I said, this one pretty much pays for itself. And people seem to like it. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? Well, I don't think we can cut it this year. We can. We've already sold a couple of tickets, so we could refund them if you want to. But again, I think we're doing okay with that one.
Keep it.
Keep it. I don't see.
Okay. Tales of Taneytown. That's that's partnered, and we don't put anything, that's a 0. Yeah, that's partnered. So we were doing the two events congruently. I think we should just drop the Tales of Taneytown. Prizes, the ribbons, everything that goes into it. And again, I practically have to beg people to come and participate. And it's the same people every year. I think we, again, keep the partnership with Thunderhead Bowl and Jody for running Trunk or Treat down there. And then we just save our $1,200 for the Tales of Taneytown.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe, or even if, and I could, connect them with Jody. There are plenty of rescue groups, like Operation Pause for Home. They're gonna be at the July 25th book bag giveaway, and they were supposed to be at the July 5th one, but we canceled it because of the heat. But anyway, there's that one, there's Double Dog Dare Rescue. There are plenty that would love to come with some adoptable animals and set up, and
That would
there we
be
go.
nice,
Yeah.
too.
They could, yeah.
Bring some pups or cats or anybody out for the Christmas tree lighting too, yeah. It benefits everybody loves looking at puppies and kittens or cats, and dogs.
Absolutely.
And at the Wine Fest, they were adopting out all that. There were a lot of adoptions made, which was wonderful to see that. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah, they're a good outfit. All right, so what's next? Oh, I'm calling it Zombie Run right now. That again, it's a 0 cost. We're this year gonna do it on Halloween. So,
I was saying we should change it to the Munster Run because Fred
Oh, yeah.
Gwynn was a Taneytown resident, so I
Long, long
think
time.
that would be.
it was just Munster, right? The Munsters.
Munster.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
Munster.
Yes, that's right. Okay, we'll do that. Change that. And the Christmas tree lighting. So my recommendation is that $1,000, the majority of that is for the candy cane hunt. 150 we pay Santa. The rest of it is for, I say we just drop the candy cane hunt.
Well, that
People
would
have
be-
complained about it for years.
that would
you
be
know, that-
lovely,
yeah,
'cause it's
that,
just
like,
a pain.
seriously, yeah.
Yes.
We'll let them get
Is that a
savage at the Easter egg
consensus?
hunt, and that's it. You know, that's it for the candy cane
Okay.
hunt. We'll just cut that and just pay Santa.
Agreed.
So that saves $850. Okay, and then the holiday decorating contest, we already discussed about cutting the prizes. And I think that's it then. So, even with, let's see, we're taking that out, taking that, so we're at about, you know, you can see the tally there, over $20,000 that we can earmark.
Cost to replace those.
Well, yeah, on the CIP for Flickinger, I think it was 160 some thousand. Roberts Mill, 175,000. And for Roberts Mill, my intent is to retain the swing structure because that is still sturdy and that's fine. That's the metal beams with the chains and the swings. We've replaced those slings and the seats, so they're fine. The main unit, the main piece of equipment there is what we would need to replace. And we would also need to replace the bumpers around the playground, the border, and the fencing. So we're gonna retain the other features. The xylophone is only 3 years
maybe
old,
3.
4 years old maybe, yeah. And then the Boy Scout built that shade structure, so we're keeping all of that. So we're talking about the smaller unit, and if we can afford it, maybe a different surfacing. Not poured in place like what's at the Tot Lot at Memorial, because we used grant funding for that. That was the only way we could afford that. But maybe like the bonded playground mulch, the rainbow mulch, as is at the THS Park playground at the part where the little birds.
What happened with Memorial
Yeah.
Park? Are we sure that
Yes, because I've been in touch recently with the playground company that I'd like to use for that. Yes, oh yeah. I know. Like, excuse me, one of my first phone calls, can you tell me how much these playgrounds are really gonna cost? Yeah, exactly, because we don't want any surprises. No. So. That.
Okay.
I know that was painful.
But
Because
necessary.
when I came on board, there wasn't a lot going on in Parks and Rec. And we really built up the parks, we built up this event roster, we were on fire. We had funding, times were good, but then.
Times were bad.
But now times are bad. And again,
Yeah.
people think that, when you vote on a national, it's weird, but yeah, who you vote for on a national level does affect you in your hometown, in the town you live in, people. So tariffs and wars are not good for even local economies.
also there's stuff that
Right.
if we made better?
Exactly, yes, if there had been a
bad.
park,
That's
a flat
outside of our
park,
control,
yeah,
though.
exactly. If we had had a flat park impact fee years ago, we would not be in this boat. We would be pretty healthy financially. When you think about all the houses that went in Meadowbrook, Creekside, Copperfield, Meads Crossing, all of it. Yes, it is. It's hindsight. That's, a lost opportunity that we're not going to get back again, so, yeah.
My focus is learn from the lessons of the past, try
And move
try and
forward,
try
right.
and
Right.
correct them and move forward and make sure that things are actually sustainable
Right.
so that
Correct.
Yeah, we're
have to
not
go
in
through
this
this
situation
bullshit
again.
again. Like, it just
Exactly.
sucks.
Right, exactly. All right.
All
right.
right. So any additional miscellaneous updates that you had? Okay. So then let's go on to new business. So we'll do the post-event discussion of the Independence Day celebration.
Yes, I mean, I don't think I would change anything. It was very hot and dry, but the event was very well attended. We estimated about 1,200 people hung out with us that evening, and I want to thank Public Works again and TPD for all of their assistance. And TPD did a great job, as always, and they had everybody out of the park and on the road and on their way within 40 minutes. I mean, that's, talk about logistical planning. They did a good job. And again, with Public Works assistance on, setting up all the blocks and everything. Bless you. You okay? So it was a good one. And if it had to be our swan song for a few years, then all right, it was all right. Yeah,
Went out with, yeah,
Right.
250th, right?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on that? All right. Post-event discussion of the red, white, and blue 5K.
Yeah, that was really well attended to, especially in light of the heat. Initially, we had over 200 people registered, but I think because of the heat, we had 132 actually participate, which is still a pretty good number. Even with, when something is free, you always get some amount of attrition, and that's understandable. As hot as it was, thank goodness we did it first thing in the morning or
Yeah.
whatever, because can you imagine? Oh, yeah, no, I don't think
But
anybody would
great
shine up later.
response from everyone. Like
Yes, absolutely. Everybody really enjoyed it. There was no cost to put this on, as we've just discussed. Kenny's, again, donated the water, the ice, and the cups. And the only expense was our time. So it was very well received in the community, and participants loved it and asked for more. So hence the,
The company that paid for the,
yes, they paid for they gave Husky Hut like $100 or something, or something like that, and just like put this on the tab for however many
so
people want to
generous.
order until it runs out. Yes, yeah, I can't remember now. I know, I'd have to look at the pictures, yeah, yes,
So is it our intention to do that annually?
yes.
Wouldn't know it to look at me now, but for many decades, I was a long-distance runner.
Wow,
And pretty good at it,
I didn't
too.
mean to say it like that. Did I say it like that? Wow, really? Are you kidding?
Anyway,
That's terrible.
I've had a couple people come up to me and talk to me. They really liked what they saw and did, but is there any thoughts that maybe myself or some small group of us can get a focus group to, what can we do differently? How can we improve it? What can we change? I mean,
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
No, if you want to put together a focus group and get some feedback,
Okay.
and let us know. Mackenzie and I, Mackenzie took the lead on this, and she did a great job.
you did.
So I would think, I mean, if she wants to take the lead on the October 31st, Munster run, then, I mean, that's fine too. So, yeah, just let us know.
Not sure I can get back to you that quick.
Okay, all right. Well, we've got time for next year's though, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't feel obligated.
And thank you, Denise, for coming and
you're
helping out,
welcome. I was
pouring the
glad to
water
do it.
cups and everything like that. That was very, very much appreciated, yeah. So what did you think about it? I mean, it seemed like everybody
I thought it
loved
was
it.
great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great.
yeah.
Runners are crazy. They
Yes, we are.
I mean, it was inspirational, actually. Like, it was so hot, but they were just still so happy and.
Right, can take the conditions, yeah, yeah. The one guy, he was like a bullet. I think he did it in just under 15 minutes. He did the whole route. He was really good.
And for our first time, I think we did it really good.
Yeah, I think so. There really weren't, that I know of, any kinks that we had to work out. I mean, right, exactly. Right,
A child skinned their knees.
right, yeah, yeah. Yeah, let me know what kind of input and feedback you get, and then we'll
I think
incorporate
you're
it
probably
in.
using the library as meeting room.
Okay, yeah.
And then, so with that, is there any additional information from mayor and council that you need to report, or?
No,
Or we've got it.
we've beaten that horse to
Yep,
death.
sure have.
I think the only thing, you alluded to it, that probably is coming out of this is that, we're gonna have, finance workshops so we can start figuring out better funding models moving forward. I think this disaster of a project and situation has kind of lit a fire up under everybody's butts to realize that there's a problem. I mean, I've been talking about it for 6 months, but I think this is really illuminated the start of how bad things are. So I think, hoping that some decent things will come out of those conversations for the future.
Alrighty, no public comment. All right, so board member comments. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. All right, so with that, so next month we are taking a break, so we are not meeting in August. Our next scheduled meeting date is September 16th. That will start at 6:30. We'll start with TAA. We'll roll into ours from there. And so with that, we have nothing else to discuss. I will take a motion to adjourn. Or we could stay here. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, we're adjourned. We'll see everybody in September. Thank you.